We are back, joined now by the lovely DeeDee Rescher, who's an actor and is in town to appear in How the Other Half Loves, ICT's next show opening on April 30th. DeeDee, welcome to Straight Talk.
Thank you so much. It's great being here, Art.
You have an incredible resume on television, film, theater. Live theater has a special appeal to you, though.
Yes, it does. It's the craft. It's where we really get to work out. And a lot of people say, how can you do that every night? That's the beauty of it. You're always discovering something new. One night is never the same as the next. And it's a growth period. You really get to grow with the character. On TV, you've done it in 2 minutes, it's done, you never revisit it. This way, you really get to perfect.
So is the show better? Is it better for an audience member to see the show near the end where the show's tightened up?
Oh, please, yes.
Really? Just go.
I think so. Well, either way.
So you get better during the 3 weeks?
I think so.
And you're very modest,
I wish the critics would come on the last performance.
That would be good.
But that would
defeat the purpose.
Yes, it would.
But a show does tighten up a bit.
Absolutely, absolutely. It becomes fun.
But now, if you're on Broadway for 2 years, doesn't it get a little boring after 2 years?
I would imagine, but the pay is good, and it's, Broadway.
So you're a professional. You put that same energy in the show after 2 years that you do opening night.
Absolutely. Every night, there's a different audience. They all deserve to have a great performance.
They say that audiences do vary, and some, they each have a personality, a center of gravity.
Oh, yes.
And you feed into that.
Oh, yes. Sometimes that show is backstage. When there's an audience that's not responsive.
Do they start to the actors badmouth?
Oh, hello.
You see that guy in the second row snoring?
Somebody.
Yeah. Well, you obviously have comic talent. You have a comic persona, and this is a British farce. Tell us a little bit about the show.
We have yes, it's a British farce. It's Alan Ayckbourn, who is very famous. This is one of his most famous farces. It's hysterically funny. It's a lot of physical comedy, and it's standard British accents.
It's 3 couples, 2 dinner parties, and 1 adulterous relationship.
And it all takes place on one set. We share living rooms. So 2 parties happen simultaneously on the same set at the same time.
It's like Einstein, time and space coming together.
It is.
Exactly. Well, now you played the adulteress in this place. I can see why they cast you.
Well, lovely, thank you.
And you'll be in rehearsal, and it's amazing to me that you just have 3 weeks of rehearsal and then it's go.
Yes.
To come together, people that don't know each other, you sit down, you start reading, you block it out, and in 3 weeks you're on stage opening night.
Yeah, it's always frightening before I start a play because I think that exact thing. And I think, how are we ever going to do this? But once you're there and we're under the direction of Todd Nielsen, who I've been a great fan of and have never worked with before, so I'm really excited about working with him. I'm sure he's going to all lead us in the right direction, and within a couple of weeks we'll have a designer's run through and we'll be top-notch by opening night.
And they tell me, but I don't know because I'm not an actor, but that there's nothing a greater high than when you're doing it and it's really hitting on all cylinders.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
You don't do it for the money. You
No.
don't do it for the headlines. Definitely not the money. But
It's staged.
It's that satisfaction.
Oh yes, it's a wonderful feeling when it's like flying. My husband often says to me, and this is his little scale, he says, honey, you're on rollerblades tonight.
How sweet.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of moving vehicles, this lovely lady was in one of my all-time favorite movies, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Tell us about that.
Funny. This was during a period of my life where my television career was going quite well. But I landed this tiny little part on this tiny little movie with this guy, Matthew Broderick.
No one heard of it.
Who would ever heard of him? John Hughes, who knows who he is? And I needed a little extra money because I wanted to make my insurance that year. And my agent said, just do it. Nobody will ever know. It's the bus driver. You got a few lines, whatever. Well, of course, we all know now what happened with that, which is fine. I love being in a cult movie.
So you were in a cult classic?
Yeah, and I also...
As a bus driver?
I also learned how to drive a bus, so now I have something to fall back on should my career go...
Yeah. Well, I'm looking at this list of accomplishments, and I don't know how someone so young could have packed all of this in.
Is it time to plug my surgeon?
But this gal is coming to town together with 5 other fine actors and a fine director. So make a date to go to ICT. It's downtown. The International City Theater is behind the Terrace Theater in downtown Long Beach. It's a beautiful 300-seat theater, and you'll see DeeDee doing her thing.
You certainly will. We'll see you there.
Okay. Well, thank you for joining us, and stay with us. You won't want to miss our next guest, our oldest guest on Straight Talk, direct from the 17th century, Sir Francis Drake from the Renaissance Fair will be here on Straight Talk tonight.
Phil Tracys mixes California style with continental cuisine that includes fresh seafood from around the world. Since Phil is the chef, the menu has a wide variety of pastas, salads, soups, and appetizers that feature his unique personal touch. And the Italian-American signature dishes are simply beyond delicious. You never know who you're going to run into at Tracys, from the famous sports legends on the Wall of Fame to local celebrities having a drink at the bar. For the best fine dining experience, visit Phil Tracys.
At Performance Plus Tire, you'll find we carry Toyo tires. For over 50 years, Toyo has been a world leader in the development of high-quality tires. Optimum performance, safety, and a comfortable ride. That's what makes Toyo tires great. And now come into Performance Plus Tire for a great deal on these Toyo tires. Proxys ST, Open Country AT, and Proxys 4. Toyo tires, driven to perform. Come in today and we'll install new Toyo tires on your vehicle while you wait. Performance Plus Tire on Cherry Avenue, 1 mile north of the 405 in Long Beach.
When I was a boy growing up in Italy, I had a dream to own my own store. I came to the United States and I worked hard as a tailor. Hi, I'm Umbrato. I've been in Long Beach since 1960, carrying the finest quality men's clothing. Italy's a long way away, but styles are just around the corner. Umberto, 2141 Bellflower, Long Beach.